So this is going to be similar to what we did with Judgment. I replayed this and I was editing this gameplay. I was editing the audio and it was fucking terrible. Because it was 25, 30 seconds, every 25 or 30 seconds of us saying nothing. So, we do have audio for this though, so we'll be able to hear it.
Yeah, but hey, welcome back to
Chill Chats with John
Chill
and Chizzy.
Chat. So, this is our patch-up jobs.
Yeah.
This is where we think to ourselves, how good was this episode? Was it any good? No, it fucking wasn't.
I think this is going to be quite healthy to do once in a while as well. Just kind of sit and retroactively go through some of the stuff that we've recorded. Like when I see it in the edits and go, this is awful. We can sit and it wasn't that it was awful. Like I was having fun playing the game. It wasn't an awful session. It was just that we weren't talking.
Yeah, we weren't chatting, we weren't engaging with each other. We were just literally sitting there watching the very muddy graphics.
We are a certain type of gamer, which is kind of focused. Chizzy's an MMO gamer, plays a lot of Final Fantasy, and that is very much you're just doing a grind. You're just in it, and that's just what you're doing. You're not really talking, you're not really thinking, you're just doing the thing.
Yep.
I'm not a social gamer. I will play multiplayer games, but I'm not what you would typically say a social gamer. So I don't spend a lot of time on party chats just chatting to people. And I'm also not a very talkative person in the first place. So this is kind of a challenge for me in the sense of like, I have been a very, very quiet person for a long period of my life. And now, we're doing YouTube where you can't really be quiet.
But we've decided that if we're going to do this channel, we have to be quite chatty fuckers. We can't just have this as
We're kind of forcing ourselves out of comfort zones here.
We can't really make this into like World of Let's Plays where it's just, you know, the entirety of the game, but they're just playing the game as the game would be played.
Nero is also in the room right now, so if you hear me complaining at a cat, or Chizzy complaining at a cat, he's a 5-month-old kitten who's far too curious for his own good. He's also a massive idiot. So
some of the stuff he's done already today alone has just been absolutely glorious.
I forgot to change the mic cable.
You have to change the mic cable. Do you want to just restart?
No, it's fine. We'll keep going. I'll just switch over.
Alright.
So he doesn't chew on it.
Right, he's into his little bat cave.
This is easy enough to fix if it unplugs. We can just both pause. This isn't getting recorded, remember? So
yeah, true.
It's easy enough to fix. If it goes, I'll just change it in the next.
Nero!
episode.
Shift. Fuck off.
I'll be back.
And get the fuck. I'll get to fuck. Right, he's taking the cat. He's gonna get a tombstone pile driver onto the bed. He'll wake up eventually. But yeah. No.
Let's not go there, Chizzy.
It was more of a power bomb. Fucking yeeted the cat out the door and closed it behind him.
This cat, I was saying this to Chizzy, this cat is a moron. So, you know, cats are assholes. That's a generally widely regarded as fact. Cats are assholes. They like to push things off shelves. My cat is an asshole and an idiot. I was playing Destiny with some friends the other day and I turned around and he was licking my glass screen on my computer case. Don't know why, there was nothing on it, it was cleanish, a bit dusty, as most computer cases are. He was just licking it. The other day he ran head first into a wooden bed frame. Just jumped off the window onto the chair and tried to jump from the bed from the chair and missed and went head first. You just heard a and then he ran away. And then he ran into a plug. There was my router's plugged in my hallway and he ran straight into the plug sticking out the wall. Because that's it. He's an idiot. He has no spatial awareness whatsoever.
Yeah, John's got this black
tortoise shell. There you go. Why was that so hard for me to say? Tortoise shell, 5-month-old kitten who has an obsession with my washing basket, which I can no longer use as a washing basket.
It's just like a pop-up black cylinder thing, but Nero loves hiding in there.
Yep.
But if you go anywhere near it, you just see
Raptor talons come out.
Raptor talons, viper fangs, the sharpest kitten claws in existence. I'm surprised.
By the way, that is them cut.
Really?
Yes, I cut them because I'm in a flat. He's an indoor cat, so you have to clip his nails. I don't cut them short. I just snip the tips off of them. But because he's a kitten, they grow back really fast. So like within a couple of days, he was back to being able to take skin.
Yeah, but I'm surprised it's not been cloaked to fucking holes in it already.
Oh, it is.
Okay, I'm surprised.
Not like massive holes, but there's loads of tiny little pinpricks from his claws.
Yeah, everywhere. Yeah, I'm surprised it's not like more obvious, but it doesn't help. You go within, like, as soon as you lightly touches it, Nero notices the shadow, and it's already pounced.
Yeah. So like, it was in front of the kitchen, like the kitchen door, and I'm trying to go in and clean the kitchen, and we're having a break. And like, I tried to move the basket out of the way. You just have to pick it up and then immediately drop it forward, because if you don't let go in that immediate second, he will take your fingers.
Oh yeah.
Snipey snipe.
Like, I was using the edge of my phone just to gently tap the basket, and as soon as it made contact, the fangs were out. It was so immediate. It's like you generally jump the first time you do that.
And the thing is, I'm trying to get him out of that behaviour, so like you can't interact with it too much, because then he'll think he's allowed to do it. And the whole thing now is me trying to get him out of claw mode and into affection mode. So if he's violent, he attacks. Not violent. He's not violent at all. He just maybe gets a little bit
Boisterous.
If he attacks, he gets put out of the room. If he's good for like half an hour, he gets some treats. Because he learns, right, okay, if I'm affectionate, or if I'm calm and I'm just chilled out, or I'm just playing my own toys and not attacking the human, you'll get treats. This is a lesson that he's having difficulties learning.
Especially when I come around.
Yeah, it's just something he just goes wild. Oh yeah, shoot on planets because it's fun, even though I've already got the achievement.
Yeah, you said the exact same thing when we were recording.
I've already got the achievements. I don't know why I was doing it. I just did it because it was fun. I'm kind of glad that we're doing this, because then it means we can play more. Because I really enjoy playing this.
Yeah, you really want to get to the second game.
I really want to get to the second, because the second game's much better, and you get to play as like Bruticus and Grimlock.
Some actual fun Transformers.
Pretty much. It's also like you have a built-in sprint in 2. It's not an ability with certain characters. But you can just run. You have a dodge. The weapons are upgradable. There's like techs and stuff that you can use that give you different things, like an overshield and stuff like that.
Yeah, cool.
It's much more fleshed out, and the levels are more fun, and it's less drab and grey like this one is, because they kind of realised that Unreal 3 does actually have some colour in it.
Yeah, it is a very mud-coloured game.
Although there is one chapter I'm not looking forward to, but thankfully it's the second chapter. So it's out of the way quite quickly. Mostly just because it's kind of long and kind of shitty. It's when you're going looking for Grimlock. You send out some scouts. You go looking for them, and it's kind of just a shitty temple. You're looking for Shockwave. Who in this universe is responsible for the Dinobots, and pretty much in every canon universe is responsible for Dinobots.
Yay, the Dinobots, everyone's favourite.
Does experiments on them.
Can't forget the Beast Wars though.
Oh, Beast Wars. That's the Transformers I started with. And then my dad showed me other Transformers.
These are cool. These robots transform into monkeys. These ones transform into cars. I like these ones better.
So, I've always had this running joke with my cousin Niall. Shout out to Niall in case you're watching, but you're probably not, because you're in Japan having fun, like the best time of your life. So when I was younger, I got really into Beast Wars, but he had like super rare Beast Wars with like Black Arachne and the other spider that I can't remember the name of. What were they called? The biometal ones, you know, when they turned into more robot-y kind of ones.
Nope.
Well, you've not seen it then. But eventually they become more sort of technological, instead of more animal-based. And you had like the cheetah and stuff like that. You had these rare ones that I wanted. One of them was Rhinox, but they redid Rhinox, and I have them on the shelf. So anyway, he moves out and they get put in the attic from aunties. And then he tells me the last time I saw him, he thinks they've binned him. And I was like, because they moved houses, and he doesn't think that they came with the house move.
So
So these super rare Transformers that were probably worth quite a bit of money even out of box, they no longer exist.
they exist in a trash heap.
I was just like, no, they were supposed to be mine. Because for years I was like, nah, I'll come down to Liverpool and I'm going into that attic, mate. I'm taking them. He was like, go on then. But you done it. I never did.
Oh, he was right.
Because they were his. I think I got him to one point where he agreed that I was going to have them. And then we just never got round to sorting it out. And now they're gone. And it's gutting because I fucking love those Transformers.
Yeah, what a bummer, eh?
Can't get them anymore. It's really disappointing. Although they are doing a... It's Transmetal, that's what they're called, Transmetal. They are doing a Transmetal Optimal... Optimal Prime? No.
I don't know.
What did they call them in Beast Wars?
Poofs. The Magic Dragon?
I can't remember what it's called. Optimus Primal? Optimus Primal, that's what it was. I didn't know there was like a Beast Wars 2 and there was comics that carried on afterwards that I now need to read.
Really? I thought it was just Beast Wars and that was it.
There was Beast Machines, which was the follow-up, animated follow-up. And then there was Beast Wars 2, which happened a lot longer after in the comics, I think. Maybe a show, I can't remember. I would look into it. But it was ages ago. I think it was a Japanese show.
Well, of course it is, because Japanese Transformers is Japanese.
Takara. Because I remember when you were in Japan doing one of those live streams and you went into the Takara Tomy booth, and I was like, not so subtly hinting that you should have got me back in Optimus. Because the Takara ones are fucking fantastic figures.
Well, I'm going back in April.
They're expensive, dude. I wouldn't ask you to bring me back with them.
I'm probably not getting you anything back this time
Because
anyway.
they're fucking expensive. Even if I give you the money, they're expensive and they're big.
I'll get you like, I don't know, I'll go back to the Gundam base and get you another... another the exact...
You don't have to bring me back anything.
I'm not.
I might give you the money to get me a Dragon Ball kit.
Yeah, if you...
Because there'll be new ones out by the time you get back.
If you give me like, what, 30 quid, I'll get you a kit.
Oh, like, I'm under no...
But you're not under...
I'm not like expecting anything for fucking out this time. Not that I was expecting anything from out the first time, but it was nice that you brought me back something.
Yeah. Because when I went to Japan, I went to the Gundam base. It's in a mall.
You'll go back to the Gundam base regardless. Anyway.
Oh, I have to.
Yeah.
My friend Stoogie.
Yeah.
He is a model. He loves miniatures and models. So
yeah, you're like, even if he hadn't been there, I think you would have went back. Just because there'd be new stuff, there'd be new kits.
It's fascinating. It's not just a shop. It's a museum.
Yeah, because all of them are on display.
A lot of them are. The coolest thing they've got is these pillars. Each side is a different year of how they upgraded. So it shows you from like the very beginning on when they first started making model kits, like how basic, how crude they were.
Yeah, they were awful kits.
And then like on the next side, it's the next step, how they've like improved on it. And the other side and the other side, and the next pillar would have it going on and so forth.
And most of those kits are within the last year or two that I've got on the shelf there. But even them, like the waist, because of the way they're done in that scale, it's just a rubber ball that the waist is sitting onto. So like if you move them too much, the top half of the body just pops off.
Yeah.
But if you look at like the Zegok in the back, that's different because he's a big, chunky, sturdy boy. But then my, what are they called again? I just forgot the name of them. The other one, the bigger one that I've got, the other one, remember? His limbs and stuff are different because the frames are not great and the way that the bits clip on. So like, they need to be able to make the knee joints, barbitos, that's what it's called. They need to make the knee joints and the elbow joints sturdier to hold the plastic. Because while it's not got a lot of weight, it is a rubber joint. So it's just going to weaken and drop.
It's the deterioration.
I've not bought a Gundam for a while. The last one that I got was the one you gave me. I've not been at con for a while and I'm not buying them in anymore. I think I'm just going to wait until I go to like conventions.
Oh, I can't wait for Granite City Comic Con again, eh? Eh?
That was awful.
Can't wait to just sit there and buy pop vinyls, eh?
That was fucking terrible. That was a waste of money. Literally a waste of money because no one checked my ticket. Like an absolute fucking total waste of money.
Yeah, just going in there.
I walked in, 3:30 in the afternoon, I just walked in. Had my hood up, had my hat on, couldn't see my face, had a backpack on my back. No one questioned it. Hadn't seen me all day and everybody just let me in.
Yeah, because with probably such poor attendance, they let any cunt in.
It's honestly, it was awful. And then just all the vendors. Like I get it, it was mostly based on comic books. But your vendors, some of your vendors were selling precious fucking stones.
Really?
And I'm like, this, what?
Because everyone likes precious stones.
I was just really disappointed with it.
Like the
It
first
was
year.
great. It was great if you wanted single issues of comic books,
Yeah.
which was not what I was after. Because I went in with money to spend and didn't spend it. It was like, oh, maybe they'll have like figure vendors or like kit vendors of some kind. Nah, if you wanted single issue comic books, or if you wanted your copy of some obscure Scottish comic book signed, you could get that done as well. But if you wanted any sort of memorabilia, good luck. Although I did see one of the guys that we saw at MCM still selling his X-Men Origins Wolverine figure.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2 years later. Or a year and a bit later. I'd like to go back to MCM again. Glasgow's attainable, you know?
Yeah.
Not this year because it's been and gone, but I think I'll go next year.
When is it?
October. Well, end of September, start of October. It's just after London, too.
I'll have to see what happens.
I'll go down and meet up with Blue and Ross.
Yeah, we can go
And
get
meet Bob and stuff. It's
we'll
not
get
like...
an Airbnb. We'll get negative reviews for doing absolutely fuck all. It'll be great.
You'll hear about that one in the judgment video. One of the judgment videos, so...
No, yeah, so we can't have that as a topic chat in this bit.
Shit comes up twice. I don't know what I'll go up first, honestly. Probably this.
Yeah.
Because I haven't uploaded Transformers for a while. I kind of avoided editing it because I knew the audio was crap. And then we got new mics, and then we've just been busy.
A new mic, a brand new setup. Instead of having one microphone shared between us, we are now recording off 2 devices and then just editing both audios together. So it's not simpler.
So the thing is as well, you won't, like if you go watch somebody like Beer Bros or Game Grumps or something like that, they sound, there's not a lot of bass. The reason why you hear more bass from us is these are podcast mics. And I got these podcast mics because the main draw of the channel for the most part is the podcast on Wednesday. This is just like a Sunday hobby thing for now. Because we record once a week for a couple of hours at a time.
And then we fuck off to the pub.
Basically. So yeah, like podcast mic is there because that's what I use it for more than anything else. And they sound pretty good.
Yeah, they're not bad.
The wreckage is in our way, Megatron.
Steal the train. So this is obviously not spooky because we're in October.
It's robots. It's living robots. That's spooky. It's spooky. You're shooting each other in the face.
We do have Sundered going up. I want to play Alan Wake. I'll quite happily play Alan
We'll do that next week.
Yeah, because we need like... We've got 3 episodes of Sunday. That's
Yeah.
1 week, like, spooky shit. And then we'll do... Actually, do Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters, Alan Wake, it's up to yourself. Both.
I prefer Ghostbusters, because we can just do little bits. We don't have to do like... The Halloween stuff, we don't have to play the entire time. If you're enjoying playing Sunday, we'll keep doing Sunday. And I don't really care about that.
We always do like one of those generic survive the asylum fucking Outlast.
I was thinking about setting up my VR. I should be able to capture the VR with
Set up a VR and what, have a spooky game running in the background? No thanks. Every spooky VR game has been the exact bloody same.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking about that though. You know me in horror right now, it's fucking walking simulators.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be playing anything that was a walking simulator. I would borrow Persistence off of my friend Scott, because Persistence is a roguelike horror in VR set on a derelict spaceship, where when you when you come back to life, you're a genetic clone of yourself who's past you that died, but you can upgrade your genetics in different ways.
Huh.
But the ship is haunted. There's like zombies and monsters and stuff like that, and they can fucking annihilate you if you're not ready.
Spooky.
It's really fucking creepy because it's mostly dark. You mostly can't fucking see anything.
Well, that's the fucking point of playing in VR.
So you're walking around in this dark spaceship and you can just hear things banging their heads on walls and scratching and moaning and you've no idea where they are, and you'll walk into a room and something will just fucking rip your head off. It's creepy as fuck.
Classy. Not even a hello. Like, hi, can I borrow your head? Cheers, thanks, bye.
What I also like about Persistence is they were smart and made a non-VR mode and then released that for free.
Well, fair enough then.
So you can now play it in non-VR. And it works just as well. Probably works better. Because it's an FPS.
Mm-hmm.
Which in a roguelike, when you need fast reactions, is not ideal, but it works.
E.
Have you bought any more stuff for your Oculus?
Nope. I haven't really played it much.
It's just Robo Recall really, isn't it?
I've got Robo Recall, the Marvel game.
Oh yeah, that shit.
It's alright.
I never actually played it without it again.
Beat Saber is always a good laugh.
February is going to be cool because that Iron Man PSVR exclusive's out.
Oh, whoop-de-doo.
And it's going to be like a full game, not just some sort of bullshit 2-hour experience.
It's going to be a bullshit 4-hour experience.
I'm keeping an eye on it. I don't think it's going to be like Arkham VR where you just kind of sit up as Batman and frozen for 20 minutes. It seems like it's going to be an actual thing.
But here's the thing with VR. Like, I know there's people who can do it, like sit in VR headsets for hours on end and get no issue.
I can do that. I get sweaty. I have to take it off every once in a while and dry my face, but
Yeah, so do I. But
I can sit and play VR for hours.
for me, it's just like, I get knackered. Because I'm not doing it. Because I don't play VR sitting down. I do standing room.
Same. Something like Beat Saber and that, obviously. But something like Moss, which is only on PlayStation, you kind of need to sit down and play Moss because it's like a third-person action puzzle game.
I also like, what's it, Lucky's Tale? That
VR?
Yeah, it actually started off as a VR game and then it went Super Lucky's Tale.
Oh shit, yeah, it does.
So yeah, that's just, that's more just augmented reality because you generally don't need to play that in a VR headset. That's why they made Super Lucky's Tale.
Let us speak with Brawl then. I want to hear how my war
Moss is kind of like that. Also, what is also quite fun, I can borrow that back from Scott, because I do want to do VR content, is Astrobot.
Oh yeah, where you have to headbutt things.
I'd get you to play Astrobot, because it's good fun. It's really good fun. It's one of the best, if not the best, VR experience I've had so far.
I can certainly use
Because
this.
you are the camera, but you're an interactable thing in the world. You know, you have to use your head to look around corners and upside down and things to find these little hidden robots to your collectible chameleons that are hidden. That you have to kind of look under environment and stuff like that to find. Your head also, you have to headbutt things, you have to look around. You are the third-person camera in a third-person platformer, and it's very, very well done. There's also Blood and Truth, which I quite fancy. Same guys have done The Getaway, made a VR game.
There's what was it, Blade and Sorcery from VR on Steam.
I've heard of that.
I've got it and this is absolute. It is so much fun.
Oh, great. Here we go.
There's a lot of like Resident Evil 7 in VR I'd like to do, and I could get a physical copy of that for buddy and just do it. I've played and finished 7, so it's not like it's a need for me. I would just be like, can I borrow that? I might play it. Because Scott's quite good with stuff like that.
Like I've been watching enough speedruns of 7 to understand what's going on.
Yeah, like
Because there's no real any percent. It's all just finish the game. There's no real skips to it. There's no real this, that, or the other.
no, most of it. The thing about 7 actually is really interesting because there isn't really a lot of skipping, which is unusual for a speedrun. It just Resident Evil has always been. You can always complete Resident Evil in a couple of hours. It's just about optimizations and manipulating enemy movement. I watched one for Resident Evil 2, the remake of Resident Evil 2, which was at GDQX, and it took it down to 2 hours. And all he was doing, there was no clipping or anything like that. It was just manipulation of enemy movements.
Yeah, just getting Mr. X to follow you properly again. This guy to, like, instead of being on this stairs, be shooting here, he'll spawn here
Apparently
next
lickers get shy if you look at them. So it's just like, if a licker's going to attack you, turn the camera to look at them and they back up a bit. Or knock a certain door, or make a noise in a certain room, the licker will move to that door so you can just run back out the way you came. It won't be there. Some of it didn't quite work the way they planned, but it's a marathon set and it never does.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, it's a really interesting speedrun. It just took a game that I've still yet to finish a B part in because Mr. X keeps screwing me over. Because I'm playing Leon B. I need to finish that game, but I've got my list right now. There's Astral Chain because I'm almost done, and Fire Emblem, which is another 60 hours.
Only 60 hours.
I'll take the Switch from the
They're gonna chop us to pieces.
And the games I'm playing right now is Ori and the Blind Forest. Really pretty, really gorgeous looking Metroidvania. And
You get
Dragon
the second
Quest.
one when that comes out.
Yeah, and the Blind Guardian. I haven't looked at anything of it, but it's just one of those games that
It's just
I'll-
carries on. I think carries on just from the end of the first one.
when you're just impressed enough with the first game alone, you hear a second one, you just feel yourself, I have to buy this.
Yeah. I do have our first, well, not probably first, might be our first new series of 2020 in mind. My Christmas, I think my Christmas present for myself, Christmas and birthday present for myself, was going to be the super special edition of Dragon Ball Z Kakarot,
Ah.
because it's fucking beautiful. The die, you know, like these super special, like the £200 ones, you get like that, and you get like statue thing.
Yeah.
It's you know, the chubby flying dinosaur dragon things. Goku on Nimbus. And they're on either side, and the thing stretches as if they're flying over like a curved world.
Yeah.
They're really cool. I'll show you. I'll bring it. No, in fact, I'm not touching anything. They're really cool. They're really cool. And it's now confirmed that it's going to run from the start of Z to the end of Z, so right up to Boo. They'll probably have, I think they might put a couple of movies in as well.
Oh well. I'll have to see how well it plays.
It's the same people that did the Shippuden games. Same people.
So it's going to be a thing of just mash circle.
Not by the gameplay footage. I think this is a new thing for them because it's open world and it's like a proper RPG.
Well, we'll have to see. You might have heard on the previous patch-up videos.
Judgment 17 and 18. We had quite a discussion about Dragon Ball.
Yes, we did. So, you know my disdain for Dragon Ball, so for me it's not something I'm going to rush out and buy.
That's from like a point upwards though. I think really Z you can't fault at that point. Like you probably can fault Z, but not for anything Super did.
Oh, no, I can't fault Z because I grew up watching Z and it's just pure, like, sugar nostalgia.
Yeah.
But it's just, you know, it soured the whole product for me. Oh, jump cut.
Yeah, weird jump cut. I unplugged my cable again. Yes, I brushed my knee with it and cut it, so we'll get back to playing this. I think this is almost done anyway, this first episode, so... you missed, like, a bit where we moaned about Dragon Ball, bringing Dragon Ball back, which is something we talked about in Judgment anyway, so who cares? Let's talk about something else.
We could talk about another, more anime-related stuff, saying, what anime could we suggest to John?
That's the point. Right, so it's briefly mentioned in Judgment, but I like my stuff like Dragon Ball, transformation, I like the transformation, there's an escalation. I don't like your slice of life stuff, I don't like your comedies, and I'm not big on fan service. So if you have recommendations for that, you can either hit me up in the comments or just at me on Twitter. Should be JB Misadventures, I think, and just give me like some recommendations. Also, actually, I put a tweet out. This video should be going up on Tuesday, so I did put a tweet out saying that if we get to 100 subs on YouTube by the end of October, I will do some form of giveaway. I don't know what, haven't decided yet. Probably won't be a hell of a lot, but I'll give you the soul of my firstborn child, which is never happening. Yeah, I'm gonna do some sort of giveaway if we get to 100 subs by the end of October. So there's gonna be a massive push for that. We're at 47 at the moment, so it's what?
Yeah,
53 to get, which is
doable.
doable.
But it feels like a tall order as well.
We just need to be out there being like, yo guys, watch your shit, sub.
Like, share, subscribe. Don't forget to comment.
Which is, there's also end card
Yes.
stuff now. I've been doing lots of stuff, man. Actually making it look like a fucking YouTube channel. I've just been two devs uploading videos. I mean, that's still what we are. It just looks more professional now. All the thumbnails have changed.
At least it's not like those, those mass-produced, like, animated dubstep intros. You get these high-production, free, fucking intros. Like,
Did you speak to your buddy about
says,
music?
just to hit you up with whatever, like, samples of what you want, how long you want it for, like, moods.
So how do you feel about maybe like having like a lo-fi, sort of lo-fi beats, 20-second clip, just or like a 10-15 second lo-fi? Because that's kind of what I've been listening to quite a lot. Just kind of really chilled out intros. Because we are more chilled out than most.
Yeah, we're not running around like
real.
hyperactive monkeys.
We're not screaming and
I had to bite my tongue there because I was going to say something completely different.
we're not an Aaron Hansen in there.
We're not Aaron. We don't do like Game Grumps, and we're not as
not reactionary. We're about the game.
it's not like Tears of
part of our
Grace where
problem.
he'll shout, scream, and wail.
I think it has to be something that suits us, and like we could have essentially the same. Because I was watching a channel and I quite liked the way that they did their intro and their outro. It was kind of like sort of more up tempo for their intro, and then had a very quiet version. It started quieter and trailed off, got louder into the end of the episode. So it was like this sort of fade in to their their end card, which I quite liked, and it's just very chilled out. Not even that long, honestly. It's about 5 seconds. I'll show you it after. But I like the way they did it. I just kind of like lo-fi
at the moment, that's
lo-fi
fine.
beats and stuff.
Sure, I don't see any issues with that.
I mean, it just depends on what he's able to do as well. I'll find you some examples to send to him. 'Cause it would be quite good to have our intro. I think this is the end of this.
Almost.
Oh no, it's almost the end of the chapter.
The street looks clear, Megatron.
Steal the turret.
Should have blown the vault doors clear off.
Oh no, it's not. We've got to go all the way through the fucking thing.
The rest of us will move forward and
Yeah, because I remember talking about this and he's been like, this is one of my favourite moments in the game, where they just carpet bomb a street.
Oh yeah.
Because just like, bombers come in, ruin the street, annihilate everything. Not the kind of stuff you'd see in the 80s cartoon.
No, not really.
That was a big deal with the original 80s Transformers film though. It was the first time that on a cartoon they'd really killed a major character.
Optimus died for our sins.
He did. And then fucking Hot Rod.
Hot Rod Prime.
It's Rodimus Prime difference. Which is really stupid. Goes from Hot Rod to Rodimus Prime.
You needed to do your TV thingy.
It's got 5 minutes, but I'll be ready for it.
Yeah. The games we've got to play is just the ones, you know, we're interested in. You've got the channels that'll play the latest and greatest game that comes out.
And it's not to say that we
No.
won't do that either, but only if like we're interested in it. I mean, we've got Astral Chain sitting there, and neither one of us had any enthusiasm.
No,
to
because
do
we'd
it for the
rather
channel.
enjoy it at our own pace.
All me.
Because if we have to do it for the channel, it either means someone has to play it
I think we
twice,
look better.
or one of us
Yeah.
locks us out from being able to play it. Yeah,
Like Judgment. But Judgment, I'm less fussed about. I've said to you.
to which I
before
have,
Judgment.
because that was the original idea. The original idea was I was going to play the Judgment once a week here, but
But then
I
you
got really antsy
antsy.
because I was saying, but I've been waiting on this. I'm a huge fan of the Yakuza series. Why the fuck
Yeah.
do I have to?
Breaking into my vaults.
So we just switched it, and it's not a game that I was even remotely interested in. So it was like, you can play it and be ahead, and kind of keep us on the right track, and I'll play it on the channel, because it's actually probably better for me. Because games like that I prefer
Yeah.
in like a 2-hour burst, and it means that like if we go 2 weeks without recording it, meh. You know,
Oh, yeah.
other stuff that we want to do. So something like this, for instance, it's a game that I love. I love both the games that came out of this. We're going to pretend there wasn't a third one that was
Seriously, there
fucking
was a third. I
terrible.
didn't even know there was a third.
Yeah, so when one of the Transformers film came out, it was the first. What's his name? Mark fucking shitebag.
Zuckerberg.
No.
Nice to find this kind of thing lying around.
So the first one he did, and it wasn't the greatest film because it was when they started, like it was full Michael Bay. It was the film where they had the guy dating the teenager, and he had like a card saying he's got the Romeo and Juliet law, basically allowing him to fucking underage.
Couldn't tell you that.
Infamous Transformers film moment. And it's one that we're so glad that Bumblebee came away and just got rid of because it was fucking awful. Basically, in that game, they tried to make a movie tie-in, and they wouldn't let High Moon Studios, who made these two, have anything to do with the game, but they wanted to finish this off. So they tried to combine the movie universe and this universe into one thing. So half of the game takes place in in Earth with the movie Transformers, and the graphics are fucking terrible. You can tell they didn't try. And then the other half of the game takes place in this, and they somehow managed to fucking botch this part of the game, and it's still the best thing about it.
Nope.
And it's awful. I really hope that one day, A, they remaster both of these games, and B, they release a third one. Proper third one. Because, like, the end of the second one, it just teases so many things, but they're never going to act on it, because Activision won't let them. Because they're like, oh, Crash Bandicoot and Spyro have done really well with the remasters, so we're going to make more.
Yay! Yay!
Remaster more stuff,
remasters.
release
No
Crash
ori-
4. Crash 4 I'm
No
happy for,
originality. Woo! I know there's a lot of people who do like the Crash Bandicoot Spyro Reignited.
He's gonna smash us.
I don't have an issue with remasters, personally. I just think that when you're ignoring franchises that done really well, like this game, for the fact that you want to do remasters, then that's kind of bullshit, because you have IPs that would do well and would make money, but you're not using them. Because these two games sold really well. The fans were really into these games. Even the multiplayer was pretty decent.
Never had a chance to play it. I did play a bit of this first one, but not much.
They were largely the same between the two games. They added in this thing called Escalation for the second one, which is like a wave-based multiplayer co-op, which was alright. But it meant that if you didn't want to play the competitive, there was another alternate mode there. And you got to like customize characters and whatnot. It was much better. Customization was much better than second one. Because they released DLC packs that you could use parts of the Dinobots and Decepticons and stuff like that. Which they're just not in this. And from the other parts of this, the Insecticons and the Dinobots are my two favourites. So when you get them in a game, they're done pretty well.
But it's like I grew up Nintendo, so I don't get any of these remasters.
Is that all,
Yeah,
Zeta?
they haven't really done Link's
Pathetic
Awakening.
army of Energon clones. Is that the
It's well
best you
documented at
can
this point,
do?
you're not a fan of.
You have no idea.
It wouldn't surprise me if you see more, because Link's Awakening actually
Oh, of
sold
course it
really
will.
well. So you'll see Nintendo maybe bring back some more of their old stuff, especially like the SNES, not SNES, the SNES. Well, actually, the classics doing well, and the NES Online portion of that doing really well as well. You see more of that stuff from
I'm
Nintendo.
just waiting on the 64 Classic, if it is ever going to be a thing. They said they wouldn't do it because they released it for the Wii U Virtual Console. They released a lot of classic 64 games onto there.
I don't think you'll see a classic, but I said this to somebody in a Discord. I think you'll see online portions. I think the online part of it is now the new Virtual Console. So I think we'll see the N64 next, and then I think we'll see GameCube, and maybe Wii, and that'll be it. They'll port the Wii U stuff over that they like. I don't think. Well,
I don't think
Wii's
they'll do that with the
guaranteed, but I think
Wii,
we'll see
considering
N64
we're getting a Xenoblade Chronicles 1 remaster.
remaster. Yeah. So I think we'll see N64 and GameCube run through that. I think we'll see the N64 this time next year because it was a year between NES and SNES.
Can't wait, because
I haven't actually looked to see if they've added anything
well,
like
I'm
that.
sure they will, but the one thing that'll be great to see is, just think, that means people get to play GoldenEye. Or they get to play Mario 64. And
The only thing that might stop the N64 online portion coming out is the controllers.
they did fine on the GameCube. When they didn't have...
GameCube was 2 sticks.
So
the N64 was 1 stick and 4 buttons.
yeah,
Remember? So I don't know.
they can just do what they did with GameCube. You can have the stick face or directions. They can use the stick in 4 directions and have that correspond to a button.
Yeah, I guess. It probably wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. It'd just be a bit weird to play the original GoldenEye.
Yeah.
Essentially 2 sticks.
But the thing is, if you remember GoldenEye, you didn't use the analog stick to move, you used the analog stick to look.
Depending on how you had it set up.
Win if he keeps
I
making
used it
more
to-
clones.
I never played a lot of GoldenEye. The N64 was kind of just before, and not by much.
Well,
just
to move on
I went
the
with it too.
in GoldenEye, with the way I played it, you moved the D-pad. You'd have move before, move back, strafe left, strafe right.
I'm just one of these people that could never get their heads around
Yeah.
this.
Too many holding options.
Yeah, I mean, I always held the middle column. That was how that was always on my left hand, but I could just never get my head round other bits. Like if it was a first person game, that's where I struggled. Anything that was like third person, where you didn't have to have cam like Doom, you didn't have to look around really with Doom, you was all on one stick. That was fine, but
Your machine is failing, Zeta Prime.
but they are not against doing N64 ports because Doom 64 is coming to the Switch. Ed are redoing it and it's out
Well
soon.
then.
Stay off the glowing
Because they announced it in the last
if you
direct.
wish to live.
that they were doing.
Fancy.
Yeah, it was the last direct. Doom 64 is coming to the Switch. So it means that for the first time ever, all official releases of Doom will be on one place.
Destroy them.
Because the reason you can't get that on PC is because it's a Nintendo owned license.
What
They
about
own
the Doom on the
Doom
PS1?
64.
Doom on the Saturn?
I think that was just a port of another Doom from.
Doom on the Jaguar?
He's recharging. Fire at the core.
There was, I think, maybe Game Boy. But Game Boy again, I think was just a port of. Like the Game Boy Advance, Doom, I think was one of them. I think that was just a port of Doom. I think every release of Doom after the original PC release was a port of that release. And then they had Doom 64, which was like
Fair enough then.
slowly on. So I think Switch will be the first one because Doom Eternal is releasing on the Switch as well. Surprisingly, day and date with PC, I think, because it was obviously quite a while.
Yeah, Doom 2016 PC to Doom 2016 on Switch.
The Switch wasn't even out when Doom 2016 released. So the Switch came out in 2017, March, April.
Spies were misinformed, Megatron. That device only activates the key to the core.
Da, da, da.
The Omega key will come to you.
We'll find out what happens
On
next
Dragon
time.
Ball Z.
power.
in the exciting and thrilling episode of
That's us. That's us
Fade to black.
demonetized.
They don't chase you
Right.
to Transformers.
Stay gamers.
Right, guys, we'll see you in the next one.